Olivia Clarke, editor of Chicago Lawyer Magazine and the Chicago Daily Law Bulletin, and I'm here with Tina Martini and David Susler, the Inside Out columnists, and today we're going to be talking about being unique in the straight-laced profession. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Let's talk about being weird. Are you guys ready?
Boy, that should be easy.
So we're going to start with the young lawyers. You're a new associate, you're with a whole other group of associates. How do you stand out? How do you be unique as a young lawyer in a law firm or even in a corporation or in-house?
Well, can I just say, and I don't mean this to be insulting, but they stand out because they're young to start. So I think they kind of have to realize that.
But even amongst themselves, how do they stand out amongst each other?
Well,
I think that I think it's important that, for kind of giving advice on how they can do it, they need to, sometimes you find the right way to do it by knowing what the wrong way is.
Yeah.
So the wrong way would be for unprofessional type of reasons. So whether it's attitude attitude either about work or attitude about your colleagues, the way that you carry yourself, the way in which you treat support staff, treat the partners you work with, how you dress, the decor in your office. I mean, all of these things are things that they need to be mindful of, because when done properly, they can help them stand out in a good way. But if not taken, if they don't take it really seriously and think very carefully about how they present themselves, then it could end up backfiring.
Yeah, it really goes back to what we talked about a couple months ago with personal branding and creating your personal brand. This is when young lawyers start right out of the box. And the list of things not to do are very easy to come up with. When the firm, you go out with clients or you go out with people from the firm to socialize, it's not like when you were in college. You're a professional now, you have to keep that in mind. The list of what to do positively, maybe a little bit harder to put your finger on, but it is, and Tina hinted at it, it's always doing your best work. Being honest and being genuine about what you know and what you don't know, and asking the right questions, but showing that you care and you're motivated and you want to do the best work and learn. That's a great way to get yourself known. Young lawyers in a firm, I often recommend market themselves within the firm. Go introduce yourself, knock on the doors of the partners and say, "Hi, I'm so-and-so, I'm just started here. Can we have lunch? Can we have coffee?"
Having fire in the belly, which manifests itself as being willing to work hard, but also taking initiative, being intellectually curious, being flexible, because the industry is still in the process of changing. So firms are still in a mode where things are changing and evolving as well. So being flexible and being willing and ready to go through a brick wall for a client. And I guess taking the initiative to understand that it isn't just about billing your hours, the required amount of hours, but it's also understanding what the project is about and really what the client's looking for. If folks take initiative along those lines, that's how you stand out. Because you stand out for the right reasons.
Right, and you mentioned a good point. As the client, when I'm working with younger outside lawyers, these days you hear a lot of clients won't work with first or second year associates. And personally for me, it kind of depends. A lot of it is on the attitude that the young lawyer has. I prefer, like I said, somebody to be honest with me. First and second year lawyers don't know everything. They can't. And a big turnoff right away for me will be someone who pretends they know and is afraid to say, I don't know, let me research that and I'll get back to you. That impresses me far more than somebody says, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's the wrong way to stand out.
Now, in general, as a lawyer in a law firm or in a company, how do you have individualism while still, not seeming odd or not seeming like you're not following the rules of that law firm? How do you kind of maintain your individualism?
Well, I think you have to be self-aware. And I just remember back when I first started practicing, I thought I better cut my hair. Like, that was one of the first things I thought, and part of it was the era in which I grew up. And then I thought to myself, well, I'm not going to cut my hair, but I'm going to make sure that I am appropriately dressed for whatever the occasion dictates. And so I think, again, it's about moderation and balance and knowing what, kind of sensing what the right thing is at the right time. And I mean, I think you need to be self-aware, though, and know yourself and know what's important to you and know what you're willing to give up, or not even necessarily give up, but what you're willing to modulate a little bit more in the workplace versus what the essence of you really is.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also understand what your environment is and understand whether the place that you're employed by is a place where you can be an individual and be self-expressed. Because if you can't be, and if it's a quality that you are not able to express that is important to you, then I think you need to think twice about whether you're working in the right place.
Yeah, and I think that's very good advice. And as a lawyer, the more senior you become, the more flexibility I think you have to express more and more of your personality. But there are little things that people can do. I mean, decorate your office. I have a couple Springsteen, nicely framed Springsteen posters and photographs, and Bob Dylan. They're two of my favorite musicians. I'm in my office a lot, so I enjoy seeing it, and people get a sense of, they walk in my office, they say, oh, you're a Springsteen fan. Yes, I am. And that's a way to stand out without being, too in somebody's face. And then little things, in the way you dress. We're in a conservative, straight-laced profession, so, if I wear a suit, male lawyers tend to wear dark suits, white shirts or blue shirts. I like ties that are a little bit more bold. So.
Like the one you're wearing. That's very fun.
Yeah.
So how is, I guess, being unique a good thing when it comes to your job? I mean, how can it help you be a better lawyer, even to be kind of unique, or to not be like every other lawyer in the building?
I think because people will remember you.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's one of those things where it again goes kind of back to the personal branding, that if people remember you, usually people will remember you if you stand out, and hopefully when they remember you, it's for the good stuff rather than the not so good stuff. But I think from a marketing perspective, if you're unique and you stand out and people remember you from a client development standpoint and a professional standpoint, that's great, because then they'll remember you and they'll remember who you are and what your skill set is and what you bring to the table, so that when a situation presents itself where they can have the opportunity to work with you, they're going to think of you.
And I may have said this before, maybe in the personal branding or one of the other columns, but especially in this business casual world we're now in, if you dress a little bit sharper than the rest of the office, don't be too showy. You have to know your environment, like we said, but just dress sharp. Every once in a while when I wear a suit to work, people notice. People don't wear suits in my office, and that's true fairly across the board. So just when you dress sharper, you tend to look successful. People notice you, people remember you, people think you're smart, they want to do work with you.
Great. Well, thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for watching. Next month, we're going to be going up close and personal with David and Tina. Thank you.